the story of the people helping people all throughout this land of ours, because that's what we're all about. This is the story. This is the story of the people helping people all throughout this land of ours, because that's what we're all about. This is the story.
Welcome to Powered by Volunteers. This is Lisa, and today happens to be Father's Day. So I want to first say Happy Father's Day to all the wonderful dads out there in Beto Nation. I want to give a special Feliz de los Padres for my own father, Jose Reina. Te amo mucho. Love you, Dad. With that said, I'm very excited today. I am speaking with Krishna Agarwal from India, and he is one of our incredible volunteers, and he proves that we're not just Beto Nation, we are hashtag Beto Global. I kind of coined that. Yeah. Krishna, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really good. Apart from the time difference, I'm having a good day.
Yeah, you're 10 and a half hours ahead of me, I believe.
Yes, I am. It's actually around 11 p.m. right now.
Yeah, and thank you.
And we had a solar eclipse. Of course. And actually, we had a solar eclipse today. So that was really cool. I mean, I think this was the first time that I saw a real, actual solar eclipse in my life.
So, if you're ahead, then I still have time to see that later.
I guess, but I think it was actually regional, because I guess that's how the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon are positioned.
Yeah, I knew that. I'm going to have to edit myself out of these things. Anyway, I'm just very, very jazzed to speak to you. You know that we kind of put you up on a pedestal. We're all really excited every time you join us for our volunteer opportunities within Beto Nation. So I guess the first question is, what made you decide to get involved with That's What We're Work? Did it start? I think you and I became friends during the presidential campaign before Powered by People. So what made you take an interest?
So I guess most of us who do not live in El Paso, like we got in touch, or we got to knew Beto during his Senate run. And so I was actually following US politics before that because of Donald Trump, and because I really, really disliked that guy. So I was watching an episode by Stephen Colbert one day, and so in that he was talking about the midterm elections, and there he talked about a guy who was running against Ted Cruz in Texas, and I really thought at that time, Beto, what kind of a name is that? I really thought that was a very funny name for me, because we are not used to such names in India, at least. I mean, I know our names are funny and all, but yeah, that was different for me. So I was like, okay. And the thing that struck me was that he had outraised Ted Cruz by millions of dollars. And then I thought that if he has done that, then there must be more to him than meets the eye. And so I kept like alternate, tabs on him. And then I saw his NFL kneeling argument. I saw his town hall, and I saw his answer. And I was like, okay, this is the guy. Where was he for so long? Why wasn't he there before? And where has he been hiding all this time? And so, I mean, that really got me into supporting him and following him. And yes, so I was disappointed when he lost the Senate race. But then in the back of my mind, I was also thinking that, okay, if he runs for president, if he has done this in one state, which is considered as a red state, what could he do if this guy was exposed to all of the 50 states in the United States, and if all of the people could see him for what he actually stands for? So yes, when he when he said that he's going to run for president, I was so damn excited. I was actually in my class that time. I was in college, and I read the news because I keep tabs on certain U.S. news. So I just saw the headline that former Representative Beto O'Rourke has announced his run for president, and I asked my teacher that, "Ma'am, please, may I excuse myself for a few minutes?" So she said yes. I just stepped out of my door and I just screamed, "Fuck yes!" And and so the passers by. They were like, "What's wrong with him?" But but yeah, that was my experience with who Beto is, and um, all of his stances that I have seen his kind of. The best thing about Beto is that he does not stick to one one detail or one just one argument. He evolves his arguments. He listens to the other people, and that is how he evolves his views, his ideas. And that is very rare when in a politician or in a public figure, because most of the times when you see a public figure, they are very they're very rigid on what they stand on. Their views are very rigid, and they are not open to listening to public opinion. And that, I think, is very ironical when you think of a politician being rigid to public opinion. So that is what clicked the best with me with Beto, because that is who Beto is all about.
Right. And
And
I think one of the things that I really, I mean, I love speaking with you. And I think all of us that are so blessed to have found you and you finding us, because we found our people, right? I mean, that's what we
exactly.
always say, no matter where we are on this planet. But I think one of the biggest lessons that we all learn from Beto is that he listens, he learns, and then he takes action. And the most important thing you can have as a politician is listening and taking your notes and then soaking it all up, learning, and then, okay, how do we move forward? Because, you listen to the same person several times, the lesson is always different. You can't stay rigid in those positions. You've got to evolve, exactly as you said. And I know politics is very different in India. And it's just really amazing the interest you have taken in U.S. politics. What kind of changes would you like to see in your own country based on what you've seen here?
Okay,
it's a big question, I know.
No, but that's an interesting and a very important question, because I believe that I figured out that there are two differences that I would love to see in Indian politics, as when I compare it to US politics. Because the best thing about US politics is how inclusive it is. No matter where you fall on the political spectrum, if you're left, if you're a liberal, if you are conservative, or if you belong to the right wing, even they have a way, even they have a sort of party, or you can say a sort of group or a community in the political spectrum that they can attach themselves to. And so that is what I love about US politics, because in India, political inclusiveness is very rare. I mean, it exists for certain groups, for people belonging to certain communities, but if you look at the bigger picture, then you will find that around 50 or 60% of the Indians are being left out of the political debate every time in every election by every political party. And we have lots of political parties because India has a multi-party system. So that is what I would love to see. Firstly, the political inclusiveness. And second, I would love to see the grassroots build up, because that does not exist in India right now. I mean, if you belong to one of the major parties, if you are a known member of one of the bigger political parties in India, then you're set. Then you may be able to, come forward and you can have your voice heard. But if you're someone like me, who does not belong to any of the political parties, who does not share ideologies with any of the political parties in India, then you have a problem. So, and in US, when you see the grassroots movement of how a coalition is built, like even you guys, when you guys started, Beto started with the grassroots movement, talking with people, having face-to-face interaction with someone. I mean, he had his banners, he had his flyers, he had his yard signs, everything. But what mattered the most to people, I believe, was his ability to talk to people face to face,
Mm-hmm.
because people remember that. People remember if you talk to them, if you are there for them, and if you listen to them. And so that is what I believe is missing majorly in India right
Yeah. And I think that's also what brought in such a huge devoted volunteer army for him.
now.
It wasn't
Exactly.
just the voters, he listened to us as well. I mean, most of us today have been with him since the Senate campaign because he wanted our input. He wanted to hear what we had to say. And then when he formed Powered by People, it wasn't staff he brought in, it was the volunteers, that had been with him for so long. He brought us in, what can we do? What are your thoughts? Here's what I'm thinking, but I really want to hear what you're thinking. How can we build this grassroots coalition to really bring even more people in? And one of those people, again, was you from India wanting to come in and help flip Texas and your phone banking from a very long distance. I can't imagine what that must, first off, just money-wise, what that must cost you. And you're doing it at 11 p.m. at night, if not later. Why is that so important to you in India to help flip Texas blue?
That all brings it back to Donald Trump, I guess. Um, because Donald Trump is the kind of person that I would run away from if I ever met him in real life. And he's that sort of person who, if I meet him or if I hear about him, or even if I see him in real life, I would be like, what is this person? Not even who is this person, but what is this person? And how can he be so vile? How can he be such a bully to say such ugly things about a community of people? The one thing that made me so furious, beyond rage, I guess, was uh, when he caged children, when he caged the children of the immigrants who migrated, who came to US because they sought asylum, because they thought that this is the country that would protect them and that would shelter them and that would accept them as their own. And so this election, I believe, is not just about the United States. It's about democracy around the world. And it's about what kind of a people we want, not just us, but our coming generations. I mean, even my children, if I ever have any, to grow up to seeing them. Uh, this is about what kind of people we want them to be inspired by. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the upcoming generations to be inspired by Donald Trump at all. And so I believe that this election holds something very dear to me. It holds the sanctity of elections. It holds the sanctity of democracy, and it holds how important your right to vote should be. And why right to vote is not just your right, but it is also your civic duty. So I believe
Oh,
that this is what it comes down for me, and this is why I've been helping volunteer, because that's all I can do from here right now. That's all I can actually do right now.
well, that's a lot. You have no idea how much that is. And I mean, that was just beautifully said, Krishna. I think that's why we all just love you so much. And I mean, as somebody here deep in the heart of Texas, right? You know, I'm Mexican American, second generation. I've got family on the southern border. I have relatives that live in Mexico. And it's been devastating to listen to the language that Trump puts out. It's devastating that my children have to listen to it. And it makes me and my community and my family want to work that much harder. And you have no idea how much I personally appreciate what you're doing from another country to help us here do what's right, to try to get this kind of discrimination out of office. You know, it's obviously it didn't begin with this man, but he has opened up a Pandora's box. And it seems that all of these other people in office here in the state that are running the state seem to have no filter now and are just putting tweets out and all kinds of other nonsense that are directly affecting my family and other families like mine. And it's not even just discrimination against Latinos and Hispanics. I mean, it's against the disabled community. I have a special needs son. It's against women. It's against, obviously, Black lives. It's against all minority communities. It's against everyone that isn't them. And so we are just working so hard with Powered by People to get the vote out. And we're calling, and you are in that fight with us from another country. And it's beautiful and it's inspiring. And on behalf of Powered by People, I mean, we can't thank you enough for everything you're doing.
I believe that there is nothing to thank me for, because in some way I'm just performing my duty as a you know, as a human being and as a brothers in arms for you people. Because at the end of the day, I believe that it all comes down to the basic aspects of humanity and about what kind of morality you should have and you should want to see in this world. So helping you people and helping Powered by People and helping flip Texas is has to do something with my own selfish selfish reasons, I believe, because I just want to see honor and fidelity and, you know, humility in the world. And that starts, I believe, somewhere with the United States, and that starts with the president of the United States. And so we have to change that.
Again, well said. Thank you, Krishna, so much for your time. I know it's really late there. Thank you on behalf of Powered by
nothing.
People. No, it's everything. And I am just thrilled that I was able to speak with you today. So yeah, man.
Likewise,
you know,
and you know, you people have helped me a lot. You know, you all have inspired me in so many ways that I can't even, you know, put it out in words, because you people showed me that even if I am here in another country thousands of miles away, I can also contribute in some way. I can also help out. And so all that rage and all that frustration that I carry with me, I can give it a channel. Um, I can give it a channel, a source to, you know, do something about it. So at the end of the day, so thank you so much for that opportunity.
well, you're part of the family. And we also very much enjoy our Saturday night Beto Family Trivia Nights that you're a big part of. And yeah, we love you. You know that. Thank you.
I
On
love
behalf
you
of
guys as well.
on behalf of Powered by People and Powered by Volunteers, thank you, Krishna. This is Lisa. Guys, have a great day.